I heard we might have some difficult or hard questions here tonight, so I'm glad to look out the audience and see some friendly people, including some family, including Nancy Gearing, my sister. So that was, I'm glad to see her here. So if I get in trouble, she can bail me out. We got such a short time. I'm gonna try to read from the text that I wrote. We don't often get prepared questions, so I'm gonna read from the text. I was born and raised in Northwest Roanoke off of Williamson Road. I went to Williams Fleming High School, graduated there in 1970. Went to Virginia Tech after that, got 2 degrees in engineering. Stayed away for about 3 years and moved back to Roanoke to raise my family. I've lived in lots of sections of Roanoke, grew up in Northwest. I've lived in Old Southwest, Raleigh Court, Brandon Court, West End. I started and grew in engineering and architecture practice in Roanoke from 1980 to 2013, from a single person to over a staff of 50. I've invested over $20 million in preserving our historic buildings and neighborhoods in Roanoke, a lot in downtown. I've started over 20 small business companies and allowed other new startup businesses to have an affordable business location, many of which are downtown. I've been a Boy Scout master. I've been an assistant Boy Scout master, church youth group leader at several local churches. Change happens by building consensus and by being inclusive in the decision-making process. And that's what I will do, and that's what I'll foster and advocate as we search for things that need to be changed in our local government. As a city council member, what I want to do is to be an advocate for the individual citizen. I want to provide opportunities for citizen participation and input. I want to enhance neighborhood and peer support group involvement and participation in the decision-making process. I want to advocate for an open, honest, and transparent local government. I want to acknowledge that healthy and thriving neighborhoods are what makes Roanoke strong and govern accordingly. I want to prioritize capital expenditures with neighborhoods in mind and without increasing the tax burden on our citizens. I want to advocate for improved mass transit, pedestrian mobility, and bicycle transportation. And I continue to work on economic development opportunities, including clearing a path for small business opportunities and strengthening the relationship with existing businesses that we have in Roanoke. Thank you very much. Mine has to do about communication. I want to try to enhance communication with the citizens by having an involved, transparent, and active city council, a council that fosters direct communication with the citizens and values their opinions and desires for the community. I'll institute town hall meetings with the community. I'll reach out to groups that feel underserved and ignored by the city and try to unify our city. That'll include many fine neighborhood associations throughout the city. It'll also include the Real Estate Investors Group. Additionally, I'd like to reach out to small businesses and the support groups for those small businesses, including the Chamber of Commerce, the Williamson Road Area Business Association, the Better Business Bureau, to try to find common ground for change. And I'll have discussions with the regional partnership to try to find ways to enhance their mission and objectives. So my first short-term goals initially is to enhance communication so we can hear what people have to say and respond to that. Involvement of city council with the various groups in the city that are the peer and support groups, serving business investors and landlords so that the issues can be understood. So it's kind of going back to the first question, involvement. City council needs to be involved. Understanding is the first step in developing awareness and a strategy to correct problems and issues that face our hardworking city business entrepreneurs. So we need to have that understanding. Council and senior administration need involvement at the staff level to understand our ordinances, licenses, and how the standard processes and procedures are implemented and how they may adversely affect the public and the investors. This understanding will allow us to address many of the complaints that I hear regarding unnecessary bureaucracy, the lack of common sense approach that's alleged to city staff, and we need to make it easy to do business with our city. And it's actually a current initiative underway with city staff that I will support and encourage if elected to city council. I do feel that most problems are solved by the relationships and understanding and communication. But you have to have two people on both sides of the table that want to listen. So you may say that now you have people on one side of the table that don't want to listen. So what you do is you vote in people that do want to listen. And I want to listen, and I want to make change for the better, and I want to be able to do the things that are the problems that you've experienced in the city and dealing with the city. About Norfolk Southern and Advance, we have to have relationships with upper management of those companies and know what they need, what's going to keep them available, what's going to keep them here, and have that relationship with the upper management so that we know. And how do we do that? We, as a business person, I know lots of other business people, just like you have your peer groups here, you talk to one another. You need to be able to do that with the upper management of Norfolk Southern Advance and have that relationship so that you know what their needs are, so that you can respond to it and do something about it. We may not have had, we probably did not have a relationship, but if we did have a relationship, maybe we could have changed the outcome of one of those. I do not think that a $10 building is a good policy. I have never gotten a $10 building. I may have wished I got a $10 building. I'm actually doing a building now right across from the health department. I paid $350,000 for it, and I've got to compete with a $10 building. I do feel the city should dispose of any property that's not utilized, and we should never have a Villa Heights Recreation Center or a Fishburne Park House situation where buildings are vacant, they're deteriorating to sit there for years. I also feel like the city should be more proactive in foreclosing on abandoned and condemned properties so that these properties are not a detriment to the community and are put back into active service. Advertised auctions should be the first choice of disposal of these properties in order to direct to the best and highest use. If for some reason the bidding process does not entice a buyer and no one comes along because it may be a lie that they don't want to own a pool in, then proposals for rehabilitation and reuse could then be solicited in, and a new owner would be the best proposal based on price and intended use. And marketing is key. People need to know if there's a $10 building out there possible, they can offer a proposal on that as well. I didn't know about the $10 building. Our taxes are high enough already, right? And we don't need any new ways to tax because there are enough ways already. And I would not support any additional tax of any type. Our revenue is based on property values and health of our area business. So we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as city council, and revenues of local businesses, big business, whatever they might be, are going up, and our local economy is going up, and our real estate values are going up, then our economy for our city is going up. Real estate tax is already probably one of the biggest expenses of owning a piece of real estate, particularly if you don't have a loan. It's a deterrent to ownership of properties. It's almost a gas when you get the bill twice a year when you get the bill in the mail. There's many budget savings possible through increased efficiencies. There's lots that we can do, less regulation, prioritization of expenses. And I'm a supporter of regionalization too, and seeing how we can combine forces on many things in the area so that we do reduce costs. If I'm elected to city council, I'm going to be there 365 days a year to listen to you. If you want to email me, if you want to sit down and talk to me over coffee, if you want to Facebook message me, if you want to do anything that's a form of communication, I'll be there 365 days a year. And we need that. We need codes and ordinances need to be reviewed and interpreted using a good common sense approach by city staff that are knowledgeable, that know how to communicate and come from a position of service to the citizen and entrepreneur. And too often, one or more of these is lacking. They lack ability and understanding to apply an ordinance to a particular situation. This creates situations that are often very overreaching and not applicable to the issue at hand. If a local ordinance continues to be ineffective in protecting the public good and is a detriment to economic development, then there needs to be a clear process for objections and changing the requirement. Also, fines or directives for improvements imposed upon landlords should not occur without prior discussion with the building owner. I'll be an advocate for expanding the tax abatement programs for those willing to improve housing and building stock. I am a real estate developer, a professional engineer, a contractor, an entrepreneur, and a commercial and residential property owner that has 40 years of experience. I have designed, obtained approvals, obtained financing, constructed, leased, managed, and sold significant property holdings in Roanoke. I've worked with nearly every department in the city of government, so I know the difficulties. As founder and former president of Spectrum Design and as owner-manager of over 20 City of Roanoke LLC real estate holdings, I would say that differentiates me. I'm unique in bringing high-paying professional jobs to our city at Spectrum Design over a 30-year period. I'm unique in my real estate ventures that transform downtown and parts of Old Southwest and Raleigh Court and the West End. Condemned buildings have been transformed into my home for many choosing to live downtown, an economical but first-class space for new startup businesses. There are no other candidates or city council members with these qualifications. I'm not in favor of Sanctuary City. Sanctuary City was not even on the radar until citizens eventually brought it up as a question. And it was so a little bit on the radar that nobody knew what the question was because they didn't know what Sanctuary City was. Now all of a sudden it's the talk of the town. It's not been on the radar for City Council. It will not be on the radar of City Council unless there's a couple people up here tonight that are elected. But I'm not for Sanctuary City. I'm for immigration reform. I'm for having enough money for immigration to do what they were commissioned to do and to be able to do what they've been asked to do. And one of those things is to be able to come to localities where someone is detained to see whether they're legal for immigration to actually come. The criticism that sanctuary cities provide is that immigration does not come. They can wait and wait and wait until someone is detained. And no one wants that situation, but immigration doesn't have the ability to be able to do that because they don't have the funds. So if someone in the valley is detained, then immigration is liable never to come. Yeah, you have to have a stable plan, you have to have a stable zoning ordinance, and you have to have a consistent planning commission. And when you buy property based on those conditions. So if you buy a piece of property knowing that you can put on that piece of property what you want, then you need to be able to proceed knowing that, because otherwise you'll be damaged, the business will be damaged. And there's lots of examples. Huff Lane is certainly one of those. I graduated from Huff Lane Elementary School a long time ago, and now it's a Mexican restaurant. And I didn't like the way that came down because I didn't feel like that the neighborhood was represented either. So it's like anything, you got two sides of both stories, but you need to have enough definition to what that land is suitable for, what it should be used for, and the zoning ordinance is consistent. And if that zoning ordinance changed, it needs to be vetted very well with everybody at the table, particularly the person who owns the property. It'll be harmed if it is changed. So it's good planning. I'm sitting here looking at my sister, so I better answer this question correctly. I know that I've heard her horror stories time after time with the code enforcement and some of the things that she's had to deal with. And to me, it's a balance, and it's having people that are reasonable. If you're going to have a code that you have to enforce, and some of these things are state imposed, you need somebody out in the field that's not only talking to the person living in the building, but they need to be talking to the owner of the building as well, and come up with a reasonable solution. I know my sister is being very reasonable in every situation, but she gets caught in this catch-22 thing where someone calls code enforcement and it's everything's done and settled before she even knows what it is, and she just issued an edict of what she's supposed to do. A system like that shouldn't be that way. It should be real clear what you need to do, and most people with their own property are going to be responsible and make sure those things happen and not be imposed separately. And it has to be imposed or done by somebody that knows construction, knows real estate, knows how to interpret an ordinance to make it something reasonable. Because you can interpret these ordinances lots of different ways, and they seem to not get any kind of direction in terms of how the interpretation comes down to the real estate holder.